So this will be the final installment of the three basic worlds. As I've said before, in core shamanism, there's the lower, middle, and upper worlds, all used for different reasons, containing different spirits and different purposes. So, as this one, this will be a middle world journey. The middle world's quite an interesting one because it's essentially the spiritual world of this physical realm. So when you're journeying in the middle world, most of the time it's when you're working with the client and this terminology might not make sense to everyone watching, but it's where you sort of track back to find things that you need to bring back to the client. To fulfill them and to bring back any sort of dislodged parts of their soul. So this can be used to heal all sorts of illnesses, from physical to mental to spiritual. And when you're working with the client, it's probably the most common world that you will use. I like to bring people in by giving them a guided middle world journey just so that they're a little bit used to working in that realm, as opposed to jumping right in and being thrown into it with not really being sure what it is. So the middle world can consist of anywhere that is on this earth. And shamans use it to travel, shaman practitioners use it to travel to different places in the world just for fun when you're journeying, or when you're working with a client, you will be tracing back to certain aspects that need to be returned to the client. So in a very brief nutshell, that's what the middle world is and what its uses are. I've done a few middle world journeys with people that I've run workshops with, and some similar things like that. And I always really enjoy it because I think people find it a lot easier to visualize themselves journeying to somewhere that exists in this plane. You know, places that they may have seen photos of, they might have been there personally. Things that are really stuck in our mentality. So I really like to do it as a bit of a journey. I'll probably add in a few other little journeys here and there. I'm still figuring out which ones are appropriate to do over video and which ones need to be kept for more face-to-face explanations and talking about it and sort of guiding people through. The three core shamanic worlds are all very safe for people to travel to. Again, I really do not mean this as a training video. Please, if you're interested by any of this, go find a teacher who's running workshops and go about learning a little bit more about how it all works that way. I think that's all I've got to say on middle world for now. So I might just get started on the guided journey. The idea of guided journeys is very much from core shamanism. You will never meet a traditional shaman who will guide you through a journey. It's a very modern thing that's just come out in the last, say, I really don't know how old Michael Hana is or when he started this work, so I'm just going to say 20, 30 years maybe, as opposed to thousands of years that traditional shamanism has been around. So I'm going to take you to a place that I have permission and have asked permission from spirits to take people to. It's a place that I've spent a lot of time in over the last few years, and one that I feel quite confident that I can go there and bring people with me, bring spirits with me, without disrupting or angering the spirits of that place. So the place I'd like to take you is Mount Tibrogargan. For those of you who don't know, Tibrogargan is one of the mountains that make up the Glasshouse Mountains in southeast Queensland. So they're So they're inland from the Sunshine Coast, and are pretty much a huge area used for climbing, hiking, mountain bike riding, all of those sort of outdoorsy things. So I've been climbing there for quite a while now, and I've always felt really connected with the mountain. In the Aboriginal stories that come out of the Aboriginals that inhabit, these sorts of areas around southeast Queensland, unfortunately, I'm not sure which tribe actually owns the land around the Glasshouse Mountains. But in their stories and in their cosmology and traditional beliefs, Mount Tibrogargan is the father of the Glasshouse Mountains, with Biawar being the mother figure. And all the other mountains around, even breaching over to sort of Mount Ninderry, Mount Coolum, for those who know the area, they are all families within this mountain. So you've got the mother, father, you've got sisters, brothers, cousins, and they're all related. So I always like to take people to Tibrogargan, as it is somewhere I feel connected to, and somewhere that I have no worries about taking people to, because the mountain's never shown me that I shouldn't, and I've never had any issues on the mountain. Touch wood. Please keep me safe. I will put a bit of tobacco outside later to thank the mountain and to ask it to keep up its kindness towards me. So, I feel like you know the drill by now. Get comfy, lie down if you want to. Put a blind over your eyes if the sun's annoying you. And just lay down and take a few deep breaths. Alright, now I feel like you're all pretty settled in. I'm going to start sort of slowly guiding you through the journey. Again, as always, the first thing you do is call in your totem animal, as it is the one that will always be with you to take you places. Never go anywhere without it. That is really important. Never go anywhere without your totem animal. It should be with you at all times when you're doing shamanic work. Start calling in your animal. Start asking it to come with you. If you feel comfortable, start to morph with it. Start to shapeshift. If not, feel yourself connected to your animal in some way. Whether it's carrying you, you're riding it, flying on it. Imagine yourself somehow connected to this animal, whether through shape-shifting or whether through sitting, flying, in its hold, in its grasp, being cuddled by your animal. Now that your animals are here, feel yourself stepping out of your body and greeting your animal. Look around you and see others that are watching this video and doing this journey. See them around you. You begin to take off. You leave the door. You enter into the yard. Your animal, either part of you or in tow, Now you begin, just as if you were going to the upper world. You begin going upwards, past the tree lines, into the sky, past the clouds, in the air, gliding peacefully. In the distance you see a cluster of mountains. From here you can see the ocean, you can see the mountains, you can see the forest. One mountain sticks out, Tibragargan, the father of the Glasshouse Mountains. Feel yourself approaching this mountain. Closer and closer you get. You find a quiet valley, and down you go. Down, landing peacefully in this gully. You thank the mountain for letting you be here. This mountain that has stood for incredible amounts of time, created from volcanoes. As you stand here with your animal, or as you stand here as your animal, you begin to converse with this old spirit mountain, one of the great Apus of southeast Queensland. You ask for its guidance, for information, for its knowledge, for stories, for inspiration. You begin to talk with this mountain, asking it for all that it can talk to you about. Now I will leave you for a brief moment of time to converse with the mountain. Now it begins time to thank the mountain. Thank it for its knowledge, wisdom, the information it has bestowed upon you. You step away with deep gratitude onto your animal, or let your animal become you. Now back through the sky, up through the clouds, gently adrift in the wind. over the forest, the sea in the distance, the mountains slowly leaving you behind. You land back from where you came, on your front lawn, whether it be grass, whether it be bush, wherever it may be, whether it be a cityscape. From here you step back inside and see your physical body lying on the floor. Slowly, slowly you enter your physical body. From here you begin to wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, become one with your physical body again. You're in no rush. Enjoy this feeling of half aware, half in trance. As you feel ready, sit up, open your eyes. As I said before, this is a perfect time to journal whatever has come out of these experiences. Take note, as when you journey, Spirit has the tendency to take away those memories very quickly. In 5 minutes after you've journeyed, you can't quite remember exactly what you were told. So it's always a great idea to keep a journal or take notes on your phone or computer, just to be able to have those in the back to read back over the years. I do that quite often, read back on messages or things I've been told or things that have come out of sessions when I've gone to see other shamanic practitioners. So one thing about shamanism, you can do all these wonderful techniques on other people, but the vast majority you can't do on yourself. So you need to find other trusted practitioners to help you. Now I think that's about all I have to say for the middle world. This one more than any others, I mean, as I've said, please don't do this by yourself, but the middle world especially is not a place you want to go to by yourself. It can be quite overwhelming. You can come back feeling quite ungrounded. There is quite a few reasons why you don't want to do this by yourself unless you really know where you're going and what you're doing. So I thank you all for listening and watching, and yet again would love to hear any stories, anything that happened to you, if the mountain did speak to you, whether you enjoyed that middle world journey, and I'll let you know what videos are to come. Cheers.